Welcome to this edition of Collier Recap. I'm Troy Miller, and this is a recap of the April 22nd Board of County Commissioners meeting. After approving the day's agenda, the board celebrated 7 proclamations. First, the commissioners celebrated the 34th anniversary of Know Your County Government. Local government leaders make decisions to improve the lives of all residents and visitors of Collier County. Increasing education about the many aspects of county government work will enhance all individuals' knowledge of Collier County government. The Collier County University Extension, 4-H Youth Development, and the Collier County Public Schools have co-sponsored the Know Your County Government Teen Citizenship Program for 34 years. The proclamation was accepted by all the participating students. Next, May 8th was designated Cooperative Extension Day in Collier County, recognizing the 100th anniversary of the Cooperative Extension Office. Commissioner Tim Nance talked about the role the Extension Office plays in the lives of people everywhere.
The Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences Research and Development covers the natural resources industries that have over a $133 billion economic impact in the state of Florida and are directly supporting of 1.6 million jobs in the state of Florida. This program at IFAS is ranked #1 in the nation by the National Science Foundation as recently as 2008. According to the USDA, the median rate of return on public investment in U.S. agriculture is over 40%, which translates to a cost-benefit ratio of 1 to 10, meaning for every dollar invested, it returns $10 in benefits.
The proclamation was accepted by Brian Fleck, IFAS County Extension Director, Dr. Phil Stansley, Interim Director of SWFREC, and Dr. Charles Vavrina, District Extension Director. The commissioners then proclaimed May 3rd through 11th as Tourism Week in Collier County. Tourism is the #1 industry in the state of Florida, responsible for welcoming 95.5 million visitors in 2013, who spent $80.1 billion, generating 23% of the state's sales tax revenue and employing more than 1 million Floridians. The hospitality and tourism industry supports the vital interest of Collier County, Florida, and the United States, supporting over 32,300 jobs and over $1 million in wages to our community. Tourism Director Jack Work spoke about the impact of the tourism industry in Collier County.
Thank you so much for this recognition. As many of the statistics show in this proclamation, tourism is certainly one of the most important industries here in Collier County. Over 34,000 people in our community are employed directly or indirectly in this industry, hospitality and tourism. And that has been growing really for the past 27 months. We have seen more jobs added in this sector each and every month. It's one of the big reasons that last year Governor Scott did recognize Collier County as having the highest job growth in the state of Florida. We certainly are very proud of that to certainly be a part of that growth.
Next up, the commissioners designated May as Drug Court Month in Collier County. Drug courts focus on reducing crime and saving money through a program of intensive intervention and treatment for addicts in the criminal justice system. Drug courts achieve these goals by emphasizing accountability, honesty, and personal responsibility on the part of the addict. Judge Janice T. Martin accepted the proclamation.
Our motto is changing and saving lives through honesty, personal responsibility, and recovery. And I was noting with my participants, and we've also got clinicians and probation all represented here today, that it's really a wonderful day in the criminal justice system when a group of young people who have had challenges such as these are brought before our elected leaders and congratulated for their efforts to overcome those challenges. These are the people Mr. Wirt just referenced that were working to serve all these tourists. They were very happy to have great jobs this year because of the efforts of this commission to set an atmosphere in which they can thrive and recover. Just a few words about what drug court is. Our participants are citizens with drug-related felony charges, most often possession of drugs or things like theft and pawning to pay for the habit. Our program is entirely voluntary. If the state attorney approves somebody for admission into the court, the participant accepts willingly a suspended sentence of anywhere from 1 to 4 years in prison, and they exchange that for the promise that they will perform with us for 2 years of very intensive probation.
The board celebrated a proclamation recognizing Corrections Officer Week in Collier County. Correctional officers have the difficult and often dangerous assignment of ensuring the custody, safety, and well-being of the more than 600,000 inmates in our nation's prisons and jails. Correctional officers have been viewed as guards occupying isolated and misunderstood positions in prisons and jails. But in recent years, the duties of these officers have become increasingly complex and demanding. The professionalism, dedication, and courage exhibited by these officers throughout the performance of these demanding and often conflicting roles deserve our utmost respect. The proclamation was accepted by Sheriff Kevin Rambosk. April was proclaimed Drowning Prevention Month here in Collier County. Florida ranks #1 in the USA for child drowning incidents between 2000 and 2013. Drowning was the leading external cause of death for children 1 to 4 years of age in Collier County, and the NCH Safe and Healthy Children's Coalition is committed to reversing these disturbing trends. Board member Paula DiGregoli spoke about some of the coalition's programs.
One of our programs is Swim Central. Swim Central is a program where we take 3, 4, 5, and 6-year-olds to an aquatic facility for 10 days for a half hour per day. So far this year, we had done, in total, the number of children that we had done is over 1,200 children that have been able to participate in this life-saving program. This program is thanks to the generous contributions of the Wine Festival, the Naples Children Education Foundation, and 21st Century Oncology. One of the other programs that we are very proud and that we have been able to implement and it's also because of the great support of Commissioner Donna Fiala and Barry Williams from Parks and Recreation, is the Life Jacket Loaner Program. The program was implemented after a drowning death of a 2-year-old girl during the summer.
Commissioner Donna Fiala also spoke about the Life Jacket Loaner program.
I just want to give a big pat on the back to our Parks and Rec department. How they came up with the design and built these racks to hold these life jackets, I'll never know, but they did a superb job. They don't fall over, they stand tall, and the guys, they're so proud of their work. People have come in to support this by donating to be able to buy these life jackets. We have life jackets. There's 20 on a stand, and then we have 20 in waiting in case some of them disappear. And we're happy to see if they happen to disappear, possibly somebody needed them to save their life at another time. We have life jackets at South Beach, at Tiger Tail, at Sugden Park, at Clam Pass, at Vanderbilt, and then now we're going to have 3 in the city, right? And we're happy to see that there's going to be some at the pier. You're hearing about it before they're up, but we're going to be moving forward with that pretty quickly.
The proclamation was accepted by NCH Safe and Healthy Children's Coalition Chair Pat Reed, Board Member Dr. Todd Vadir, Executive Director Paula DiGregoli, and support staff. The final proclamation of the day designated May 1st as National Day of Prayer. The National Day of Prayer is a day set aside by Congress for all Americans to pray and reaffirm the spiritual principles upon which this nation was founded. This year is the 63rd anniversary of the consecutive annual observance of the National Day of Prayer, and the theme, One Voice United in Prayer, is based on Romans 15:6. On May 1st, 2014, Americans across our nation, state, and the country will unite in prayer to give thanks for the many blessings our country has received and pray for God's blessings and protection upon our leaders and our nation. The proclamation was accepted by New Hope Ministries Senior Pastor Grant Thigpen, Dr. Todd F. Stearns from First Baptist Church of Naples, and Reverend Beverly Duncan from Naples United Church of Christ. Commissioners made a presentation recognizing Dr. Joan M. Colfer for her unwavering devotion to improving the health of every citizen of our community during her illustrious 14-year tenure as the director of the Collier County Health Department. Dr. Colfer thanked the board for the recognition.
It's been an honor and privilege to serve as your health department director here. The work has been meaningful, interesting, challenging, and certainly a whole lot of fun, too. You've got a great staff at the health department. They're very experienced now. As Leo said, we've done all sorts of things, hurricanes, pandemic, whatever. So they continue to drill and train to do those things and do their everyday work in an excellent fashion. So you're going to be in good shape. They're going to be fine. We're looking for a new health department director. We have a good panel of people, and we'll be doing our first interviews tomorrow. So hopefully we'll find a replacement for you very quickly. Thank you so much for all your years of support to me and our health department.
The commissioners heard an emergency add-on item presented from Commissioner Tim Nance. The item dealt with the newly released documents from the state that indicate Dan A. Hughes Mining was issued a cease and desist order from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection requiring the cessation of all operations at the Collier Hogan 20-3H well, located north and west of the intersection of Everglades Boulevard and Immokalee Road. The cease and desist order was issued on December 31st, 2013. A consent order regarding that was issued on April 8th. The commissioners and the public were only made aware of the problems in news articles published after 5 p.m. on Friday, April 18th. Commissioner Nance spoke about the lack of communication from the state about this critical issue.
It's greatly disturbing to me to know that we have had many public meetings in the interim since this event and these actions were taken without having it before the public and before this board. The Board of County Commission in Collier County does not regulate the oil and gas activities that happen here, nor any oil and gas activities anywhere in the state. That, of course, is done by the regulatory agencies, which I think by now all of you realize are the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, and regarding the Class 2 disposal wells, the South Florida Water Management District. You know, we have to respond to FDEP in many capacities, and this agenda item is a recommendation that I put together for consideration of this board to engage Collier County through the same processes, and it's an example of exactly what the public has to do when the county has a substantial interest and is a party, which we certainly are in this case. We have to respond through the same mechanisms that the public is required to do as well. So my recommendation, in light of the information that I presented to you and I present to the board for their review, is to direct the county attorney, supported by staff, to file a challenge to the consent order, which means basically filing a petition for an administrative hearing to respond to the activities that took place.
The board voted unanimously to direct the county attorney to file a challenge to the consent order requesting first the revocation of the permit. Failing that, the county will request the consent order be modified to require additional provisions for oversight, safeguards, and monitoring to protect the environment and ensure the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Collier County. Furthermore, request a protocol be established that from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection that improves communication coordination between the agencies regulating the oil and gas program and Collier County local government, and that copies be provided to Collier County of all application packages for future oil and gas exploration, production wells, and Class 2 injection wells, as well as all permitted related correspondence, additional submittals, meeting minutes, and agency action. Now, we will keep you posted on this story as it unfolds. Commissioners heard a recommendation to approve submission of a site selection criteria application to the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs to be selected as the location for the state's planned 7th state veterans home and include an offer of $500,000 in additional cash funding for the project and approve all necessary budget amendments. Ave Maria Development LLLP has offered to participate as a partner in the project by donating the required acreage to the state and ensuring all due diligence items are completed to FDVA expressed requirements prior to the application deadline of May 14th of this year. The board approved the item unanimously. The board unanimously approved a recommendation to approve a resolution accepting the proposal of STI Institutional and Government Incorporated, a SunTrust company, to refinance the Collier County, Florida Gas Tax Revenue Bond Series 2005 in an amount up to $90 million, authorized the county manager to take such action as is necessary to lock the interest rate for such Series 2014 refunding bond to achieve a gross debt services savings of up to $11,075,000. Commissioners authorized the creation of 19 new full-time equivalent positions for the Growth Management Division in response to the addition of fire plan review responsibilities, increased customer demand, and escalating traffic operations maintenance priorities. Jamie French spoke about the increase in activity in the last 4 years.
If you remember last year, we were here and we had forecasted out, we'd been extremely conservative, and we had come back with a forecast of about 5 to 6%. Boy, were we wrong. And it's good to be wrong in this particular case, I suppose, other than the fact that it has been extremely busy. And so as we maintain that level of service that I had mentioned earlier, we have to be cognizant of the demands that are coming in that front door. So on average, we're seeing no less than a 20% increase quarter over quarter over quarter. And from where we started tracking back in that first quarter of January 2010, aggregately, we're over 34% of increase just on 1 and 2 family home construction.
French went on to thank the local building industry for their cooperative efforts in helping the county maintain the proper level of service for permitting and inspection. The board heard a recommendation to approve a county purchasing manual establishing procurement and contract administration procedures that support execution of the board's purchasing ordinance that was adopted in December of 2013. The purchasing department has been working with the clerk's office, who is responsible for validating the legality of all board expenditures, has been working on the details of the manual, but some questions remain regarding discretionary spending. In order to make sure that all of the purchasing manual's components are legally defensible, the clerk, working with the county attorney, will request an attorney general opinion on the sections in question. We will report back to you on this item when the county receives the attorney general opinion. Staff recommended to the board that Collier County sponsor a statewide initiative for the development of a statewide coalition to address Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, issues impacting Florida local governments and their citizens. Staff is pursuing a corrective response that reverses FEMA's deobligation of more than $11.1 million in funding previously approved by both the Florida Department of Emergency Management and FEMA. The funds were awarded to Collier County in response to damages from Hurricanes Katrina and Wilma in 2005. This deobligation is part of the Disallowed Cost Initiative program, which was instituted by FEMA on November 16, 2011. The goal of this program was to recover $800 million in previously obligated funds. Through 2012, more than 200 cities, counties, schools, state agencies, and a myriad of other organizations throughout Florida have experienced approximately $275 million in deobligations. Growth Management Division Administrator Nick Castellanguida described his frustrations with a lack of response from FEMA.
We went to Atlanta last July, and I sat with Major Maynard's office, 12 FEMA representatives, and they said, well, since you're here, the 90-day clock starts again. I said, that's fine. We're here to give you information. They have 90 days under the Stafford Act to respond. They haven't responded. Since then, we've reached out to the state FDEM. We've asked them. We're obviously not the only ones. We've gotten a list as a public records request, and it's shocking to see how many other communities have been deobligated. The Water Management District has gone and skipped the administrative appeal process and filed a suit. And right now, as I've explained to the county manager, in this community, people can come in front of this board and seek action within 2 weeks. I'm at a loss as to what to do with this federal agency because I get no response.
We will track the progress of this issue and keep you posted. On Monday, April 21st, the Ronto Group made a generous donation of more than 100 storybooks for the children who participate in Collier County Parks and Recreation's volunteer pre-K program. We were on scene for some story time and find out more about the donation.
Anti-bullying, the message has become so prevalent in our society. We've become so much more aware of bullying at a young age. And whereas before, you know, it wasn't something that was really dealt with. And thankfully now, people have really become cognizant of bullying and the destruction that it causes, especially starting at a young age. So when we were given the opportunity to take part in this program and provide these books, you know, for children to learn about anti-bullying at such a young age, we felt it was very important. In combination with kids learning to read and become interested in reading, it really is a great program, you know, providing both those outlets for reading and learning about anti-bullying. And with young children of my own, and my wife is always concerned about bullying, we really felt it was a great cause to get behind.
I do want to thank the Ronto Group for making this all possible. It was really great of them to come in, and this is such an important thing for children to learn about anti-bullying. At a young age, they don't know any better, and they don't know what is and what isn't bullying, and I think books written at their level will help them to understand when maybe they wouldn't realize otherwise. And yes, you're right, I love to read to the kids, and so I go to some of the schools. I do stick my nose into their libraries a lot, and try and help them realize the value of reading and reading good books.
That's all for this edition of Collier Recap, your recap of Collier County Board of County Commissioners. Now, if you want to review all or part of any county commission meeting, visit colliergov.net and click on the video archive section. Once in the archive section, select the meeting you want to review. For BCC meetings, you can use the convenient drop-down menu to select and jump to any item you are interested in. For additional information on Collier County government, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/CollierGov. You can also check out videos about county government services at the Collier Gov YouTube channel. I'm Troy Miller. Thanks for watching Collier Recap. We'll see you next time.
You're watching Collier Television, bringing government home.